The Philadelphia Phillies just continue to win. They've won 9 in a row. We'll recap yesterday's big win and talk about the series ender against the Diamondbacks in today's Locked On Phillies.
You are Locked On Phillies, your daily Philadelphia Phillies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
That's right. This is Locked On Phillies. I'm your host, Connor Thomas. I've been talking Phils baseball for years over on the radio with 97.5 The Fanatic. Happy to be your host of Locked On Phillies. I want to thank you for making Locked On Phillies your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. And man, it's been a fun 9 days to listen to Locked On Phillies. They just won't stop winning. The Phils had game 2 against the Arizona Diamondbacks yesterday. They won that one 4-0, beating Madison Bumgarner. And today, well, they get a chance to go for the sweep. It'll be their third straight sweep. And you see Mr. Broom hanging back there if you're watching on YouTube. He's not going anywhere until this team loses. And right now, well, they're just firing on all cylinders. I'm going to be honest. I didn't feel good about game 2 of this series. I really didn't. I thought this might be a trip up for the Phillies. Madison Bumgarner, not the guy he was in San Francisco when he was dominating World Series, but still a good veteran pitcher that knows how to win games. I was a little bit worried about it. And you know what? Well, I'm an idiot. I think I've made that clear at this point, but the Phils took care of business. It was a shutout performance from the Philadelphia Phillies pitching and defense. I say defense because, well, Matt Vierling played second base, which was weird. It was a weird move by Rob Thompson. It was fine. He actually made the last out of the game with a play at second base. He was solid defensively. He was all good. He wasn't really tested overly all that much. I think he only had like 3 or 4 plays in the field. But, man, good work by the defense. Good work by the pitching staff. We'll talk about what Zack Wheeler did on the mound. But first, let's start like we always do. Jump into the scoring plays and how the Phillies got to 4-0. So, in bottom of the first inning, the Phillies get going early. Nick Castellanos rips a single to left field, scores Rhys Hoskins. Great for Nick Castellanos, who's been struggling lately. He's one of the few guys whose bats haven't heated up during this win streak. And, well, it got going yesterday. Just like that, Phils are up 1-0 on the Arizona Diamondbacks in the bottom of the first inning. And you feel like, okay, well, we're in good shape. Love that. Next, in the bottom of the second, well, the lead gets extended. Bryson Stott with another 2-strike home run. Homers to right field off of Madison Bumgarner. Scores Matt Vierling, second baseman Matt Vierling. And even though it just snuck out 364 feet to right field, like barely got over the railing to get into the right field seats, still counts the same. And it's 3-0 Phillies. The way Zack Wheeler was throwing, it felt like that might be enough. But things got a little bit dicey after Zack Wheeler got pulled. In the bottom of the 8th, well, it felt like the Phillies could use a little bit of insurance, and they got that off the bat of Nick Castellanos, even though he didn't look like he realized he gave the Phillies insurance. He gave him a little, check swing. Like, he didn't even really swing at it. And we saw it with Didi Gregorius in the Milwaukee Brewers series, where he check swung, lefty obviously, and just kind of snuck it down the left field line. Well, Nick Castellanos did the same thing down the right field line. Sometimes when things are going right for the team, things just happen for you perfectly. Checks one over the right fielder, over the first baseman's head, rolls up the line, a double, and Bryce Harper, who was on first, saw it the whole way, rounds third, and the throw was up the line a little bit, allowing Bryce Harper to score just like that. And Nick Castellanos RBI double, his second RBI of the game. And the Phils are up 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th with only 3 outs to get. They take care of business in the top of the 9th, and the Phils go on to win their 9th straight. That's the offense, but the offense wasn't the focal point of this game. I mean, there were some good days for people. Rhys Hoskins went 2 for 4. Bryce Harper went 2 for 3. He's up to batting .322 on the year. He's unbelievable. Nick Castellanos went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. But really what it was the pitching. Zack Wheeler in his first start since welcoming a baby girl into the world, new girl dad, Zack Wheeler. Well, he went out after being on a paternity list, not being able to get as much work in as they would have liked. And was he rusty? No. went 6 innings, only allowed 2 hits, no runs, no earned, no walks, struck out 8. He was still vintage Zack Wheeler. Just a great performance from him under unique circumstances, having a lot of time away from the team over the past week. And he took care of business. Jeurys Familia had a little bit of a heart attack in the 7th inning, went only 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, walked the guy, loaded the bases, did get a strikeout, and also got another fielding play behind him to get one of those outs. But Andrew Bellotti had to come in and shut the door on that inning. Only got 1 out. Only pitched 1/3 of an inning in this one, but got the job done. Did not allow the Diamondbacks to score. And that was the only time the game was really in question. Brad Hand came out. Another solid performance from him out of the pen. He's down to a 2.08 ERA after his scoreless, hitless inning against the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 8th. And then Christopher Sanchez. Well, he gave up 2 hits. He made it a little bit interesting in the 9th inning, but he works out of it without allowing a run. He closes the door in a non-save situation. Corey Knebel actually was warming up at a point when it looked like there was going to be a save situation, because you remember Nick Castellanos' RBI double was an insurance run in the bottom of the 8th. So they already had Knebel warming, thinking it was going to be a 3-run game and save situation. Well, you look at it, and why did Knebel sit down? Well, it wasn't just because they scored a run. He had shoulder stiffness. There was a little bit of an issue with the shoulder. He's being evaluated. We'll see. That would be not great if they lose him, because you want to keep the closer role consistent at this point. But it could get what a lot of people have been calling for. A lot of people have been saying Seranthony Dominguez should take over the closer role. He's arguably been their best relief pitcher this year, and he's got great stuff. He looks like he could fit in nicely into that closer role. A lot of people have wanted him there. I've disagreed, because I think consistency is what has helped this team to 9 straight wins. And until Corey Knebel makes a mistake, he shouldn't lose his job. But now if he's injured, well, it kind of forces Rob Thompson's hand, and you have to move someone into that slot. It should be Seranthony, or we can just hope that the Phillies offense absolutely smothers the Arizona Diamondbacks in the series-ending game, and you don't even have to worry about who the closer is, and maybe Knebel gets a day or 2 off. We'll see how it plays out, but an interesting situation there on the back end of the bullpen. It didn't affect the Phillies yesterday, though. They shut down the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks not a great team, but man, the Phils, well, they're playing like a really good team. They're over 500, and it is their first 9-game win streak since 2011. You know what I was doing in 2011? I was a junior in high school at Rancocas Valley Regional High School over in South Jersey, over in Mount Holly, New Jersey. A junior. I hadn't gone to college yet. I hadn't graduated. Got my job at 97.5. Started as a Locked On Phillies host. Man, that's 11 years ago that they last had a 9-game win streak. So enjoy it. Take the time to enjoy what the Philadelphia Phillies are doing right now. There have been some people on Twitter who have been negative, to say the least, saying, oh, well, look who they're playing, or, oh, the Braves are also on a long win streak, or, oh, they're still not catching the Mets, this, that. Folks, this is the best 9-game stretch in the Philadelphia Phillies baseball organization since 2011. In 11 years, in over a decade. And we're going to worry about other outside factors. Enjoy it. Jump on the bandwagon. Have a good time. Let's be honest. Yeah, I think this team is good. I think they're a playoff team. I think they will end up in one of the wild card spots. But there's also a chance that this team falls apart again, because they have some deficiencies. The bullpen still needs some work to figure out who your guys are. The defense, it's not great, even though they've been playing well. We know that their ceiling is not that high defensively. Like, let's enjoy this, because you don't know when they're going to go on a 3 or 4 game losing streak. That's baseball. Even the great teams win 2, 3, or they lose 2, 3, or 4 in a row at points throughout the season, because that's just how it goes. Enjoy the good stuff now, because it's not always going to be here. Do not take what's been an amazing stretch for the Philadelphia Phillies for granted. And who knows? It may not end for a while. We'll get to 10. We can get to 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, some of these games coming up, they get Miami coming up. Miami's a beatable team, even though they kind of have the Phillies number. You get Washington for 5, a very beatable team. Like, who knows where this win streak can go? Let's just enjoy it. Put your feet up, lay back, enjoy the ride. Don't stress out about what the Braves are doing or the Mets are doing, or, oh, this is just fool's gold because the Phillies aren't playing anybody. No. Enjoy the run. Let's have some fun, It's a great time to be a Philadelphia Phillies fan right now. Coming up, we'll preview the final game of the series with the Arizona Diamondbacks and see if the Phillies have a chance, spoiler, they do, to make it 10 in a row and their third straight sweep. I'll tell you all about it next on Locked On Phillies. All right, as the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier than ever to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people that you want to interview faster and for free. You can create a free job post. It just takes minutes on LinkedIn Jobs, and you can reach a huge network. Over 810 million people. You can add the hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile. It helps spread the word that you're hiring. And there's simple tools like screening questions that make it easy to focus on candidates with the right experience that are looking for the right position that you're offering. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. So go to LinkedIn Jobs because they help you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. I don't know if you know this, but every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn. You post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonMLB, and you could reach each and every one of them. That's linkedin.com/lockedonMLB to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Okay, the Phils have a golden opportunity to make it 10 in a row in today's game ender. But first, we have an important favor to ask you. We put together a survey so we can learn more about listeners like you and make your favorite Locked On podcast even better. It's your opportunity to tell us what you like and what you don't like about Locked On podcasts like Locked On Phillies. So go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey right now to get started. It won't take very long, and everyone that completes the survey qualifies for a chance to win one of 10 $100 Ticketmaster gift cards. So to take our audience survey, go to lockedonpodcast.com/survey. Thank you, as always, for your help. So the Philadelphia Phillies, I've been telling you as we previewed this series and looked at the other games, well, there was no listed starter for the series-ending game for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, well, we officially have the name that will face off against Ranger Suarez, and that name is Kyle Nelson. Now, if you're not familiar with Kyle Nelson, well, join the club. A lot of people aren't. Nelson is a young player that really, when you go to his baseball reference page, you mostly have minor league stats. He's a 25-year-old left-hander. A lefty fits in well for the Phillies because, as I've told you many times, the Philadelphia Phillies have more elite right-handed bats than they do have elite left-handed bats. Now, their two best bats on the team right now are both lefties. But still, Nick Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, JT Realmuto, Gene Segura when he's healthy. Like, these are the guys, they outweigh basically well, do we call Bryson Stott one now? No, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber. Bryson Stott hasn't done enough yet at the major league level consistently. He's having a great stretch right now. My Bryson Stott NL Rookie of the Year ticket that I have is, oh man, it's looking great. But the Phillies have the advantage more so against left-handed pitchers than right-handed pitchers, in my opinion. But Kyle Nelson, well, they might be able to handle him either way. This is a guy that had a cup of coffee with the Cleveland back when they were the Indians. The Cleveland Indians back in, let me just go ahead and see when he even got there. Yeah, 2020 and 2021. Now with the Diamondbacks, well, here's what he's done so far this year. He's made 19 appearances, a 2.04 ERA, 17 2/3 innings pitched. Been a bullpen guy for them. 19 strikeouts, a 1.019 whip. He's been solid out of the pen, but for his career, he's a 5.79 ERA guy in only 30 appearances, only 28 career innings. 28 career innings is not a whole lot of experience, especially when you got to face this Philadelphia Phillies lineup. And he is not a guy that really came with a lot of pedigree. He was drafted by the Indians in the 15th round of the 2017 draft, so not a premier arm coming out, a UC Santa Barbara guy. But, like, who's Kyle Nelson? Kyle Nelson's a guy that's getting a spot start out of the bullpen for the Arizona Diamondbacks. When you see a guy get a spot start, those are the games that you're like, if you're a hitter, you're licking your lips. You're like, okay, I know I'm going to get some tasty pitches. I'm going to see a guy that's nervous, that's not used to pitching in this spot, that's not on the caliber of the pitchers I normally see. I want to take advantage. I think the Philadelphia Phillies absolutely will take advantage today against Kyle Nelson. According to the ESPN analytics, the Phils with a 74.9% chance to win today. Basically 3 out of 4 chance to win for the Philadelphia Phillies. That's because you got Ranger Suarez on the mound, who, even though Suarez is not having a great year, a 4.42 ERA, a 1.47 WHIP, well, he's still striking out a good number of people, 47 Ks through 55 innings. The walks and the homers are what's hurting him, though. 22 walks, 6 home runs. Got to get that down, and the 59 hits given up in 55 innings is not great. But if there's a place to get a get-right game, well, it's at home against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks have done little to nothing against the Phillies offensively so far in this series. 4 runs in the first game of this series, 0 runs yesterday. Or sorry, they got 5 runs. I forgot they got the one extra one late in that one. No runs yesterday. So you look at it, well, Ranger Suarez has a chance to get right. Kyle Nelson has a chance to get hammered for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I like the Phillies in this one. I don't know how you couldn't. And hopefully, Mr. Broom back there will get some more work with a Phillies sweep today. It's really not that deep. It's just the Phillies look like the better team. They trot out the better lineup. They have the better pitcher. Go out and win this game and take care of business at home. Don't have a letdown game, a little bit of weather rolling through, so hopefully they can get the game in. But I look at this. I'm like, okay, looking for win number 10. Very possible for the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's go on to our final segment because really that's all we need to cover on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hopefully the Phils will just take care of business. But we still have an off the poll segment to fit in for this week. And I have a great question about the win streak. I'm just very interested in what was going on with this win streak and some of the trends about it. I'll explain exactly what the question is coming up in Off the Poll, where we ask a poll question that we tweet out on Twitter. That's going to be our final segment on today's Locked On Phillies. All right, I want to tell you about AG1 Athletic Greens. They've got a product I use literally every day. I started taking AG1 because I don't eat that well. I tell you all the time, my diet is trash. So I need the additional vitamins and nutrients that I get through taking Athletic Greens. It helps out. It's just one shake that I drink once in the morning. It helps me have energy throughout the day, and it gets me in great, not even shape, it's just nutritional health. It's just baseline. You need it to be healthy. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens when you drink Athletic Greens, and it helps me have energy all day. It's really just great. Let me tell you the founder story. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It cost him like $100 a day. So he created Athletic Greens so that someone else going through that, or someone who doesn't want to go through that, has a much more efficient and much more cheap, I don't want to use cheap as a negative word, much more cost-efficient way to do it. So he created an optimal nutrition routine that you can do on your own. It's real easy. I do it in the mornings. I take it right before I go into work, and it's great. And we'll even cut you a deal. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/MLB Network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/MLB Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. I also want to tell you about BetOnline. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all of your betting stats and sports info. You can find all of the latest sports developments, news, and odds, including this year's basketball championship matchup, the NHL Hockey Conference Finals, Major League Baseball, and, of course, all of the latest fighting news from MMA and UFC to boxing, a huge UFC card later tonight. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sporting wagering information, including live betting, esports, and more. They really have it all, people. You got to go check out BetOnline. Head over to the website today, or you can even use your mobile device to get the app and learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. All right, so when you win 10 or 9 straight games, I almost slipped and jinxed them. When you win 9 straight games, hopefully they'll get to 10 today, there's a lot of things that have to go right. Basically, everything has to go right for your ball club, and it has been for the Philadelphia Phillies. My question in Off the Pole, though, and if you're not familiar with Off the Pole, little play on words, hitting one off the foul pole is a home run, you get it. But Off the Pole is like a poll question that I put out on the Locked On Phillies Twitter account at LO_Phillies. You can also see it retweeted all the time at Connor Thomas 975, my main account on Twitter, which if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it typed out right there. Basically, It's my way to get your thoughts on any given subject, and I can get a little bit of audience feedback. I think it works nicely for creating a bit of rapport between me and you out there listening, and I get to respond in Monday's episode to what you said and give my thoughts. Here's my question, and I'm going to break it down to a couple categories. What has impressed you the most about the Philadelphia Phillies over their 9-game win streak? May have to update this and put a little asterisk and say 10-game win streak if they win today, but go ahead and put out the poll, get it all squared away. Here are your options: starting pitching, offense, bullpen, or management. That's what I'm going to put. So is it Rob Thompson? Is it the starters? Has it been the bullpen or has it been the offense? I'll put those options out and see what you think, because I'm very interested. You can attribute it. Really, there's an argument to be made for all four of those things, but it's a personal preference. What has impressed you the most? And I want to know. I want to know where the majority of the fan base falls on this, so I can see the public perspective on what the difference is between the Phillies now and the Phillies just about a week and a half ago. A very interesting off the poll, I think, and I'd be I'm excited is the right word. I'm excited to see what you all say, because I love to get inside the mind of the fan base at a time like this when there's so much emotion swirling around and so many amazing things happening on the field, to see what you all are attributing it to. So got to tune into Monday's episode to hear the results and see what I think about it. But of course, we'll recap all of that on Monday's episode. Now it's time to go get ready for Diamondbacks Phillies Game 3. Hopefully they can fit it in with the weather. And if so, hopefully the Phillies go ahead and take care of business and win their 10th straight in a row. That's all for Locked On Phillies. I want to thank you as always for making Locked On Phillies your first listen every day. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Now make your second listen Locked On MLB. Paul Francis Sully, who knows baseball inside and out. You got to check him out. He's got great stories about the game. He does great crossovers with our hosts that cover the teams. Everything you need, Sully's got. So check out Locked On MLB. It's available wherever you get your podcasts. Please make sure you're rating, reviewing, subscribing, everything that keeps us running here at Locked On Phillies. Appreciate it immensely. If you haven't, go to the YouTube and subscribe. Go to the podcast and give me a rating. Follow the accounts on Twitter. It significantly helps out. I really appreciate it, and it helps you interact better with the show. That's all I've got for you for today's show. Hopefully, I'll be talking to you after win number 10 tomorrow.